Hi, my name is Kavyesh, and this is the fourth in a series of masterclasses from the Twin Cities Jazz Festival. Well, I was born in this country called Oman, and I was born to immigrant parents in Oman. So most of my education in my childhood happened in Oman. My father is a musician, and he has a long kind of lineage of musicians in his family. And I was always around music. When I was a kid, I would just kind of wander around when he was teaching students, and I would be paying attention very closely. And one day he noticed that I was just playing piano, so he decided he should find a way to put me in it more. So ever since then I've been around pianos, I've been playing piano, discovering different styles of music. It's been around me since early childhood. So I was there until I was about 15 years old, I would say. And I did maybe until middle school, I was there. And then I went to residential school in India. My parents were still at Oman, and I went to residential school where, I was among other students who were living in this hostel arrangement. And so that was a discovery for me, because I went there to see if I could make it in the engineering world. We kind of call it pre-college. And that's when I discovered my relationship with music. They let me have a keyboard and a guitar in the hostel, and I would not sleep. After every day, we had a tight schedule. You had to be back at 10 p.m. and I would not sleep. I just sit up, write, compose, and I had an inkling of what I wanted to do, but I didn't really reaffirm it till I went to engineering school and left it behind to study music. So from there I went to this college in India called the Swarnabhumi Academy of Music, which is a collegiate music program, one of its only kind in India. They had a sister school here in Minnesota called McNally Smith. And so they offered me a chance to be an exchange student for a while. And I liked it so much, I just decided to stay. And I ended up transferring to Columbia College in Chicago to finish my undergraduate. Then I moved back here and spent some time teaching and doing professional music things. And then last year I got the opportunity to be in the graduate program at the Berlee Global Jazz Institute, which is in my opinion, one of the greatest programs in the world. Just the best teachers, luminaries in the music world, and I just came back in June with just lots of memories and experiences. Apart from the fact that I share just such an intense connection with it, it's probably the greatest companion to human life. I don't really meet a lot of people who say music doesn't have a profound impact on me. And it's one of those things that's, it runs so deep within your interests and your passions and your values. And all of it reflects in your music. So, apart from the fact that when I meet musicians who are so passionate about what they do, I'm very grateful to meet people who talk to me about, hey, I really love that thing that you did. Hey, I really love this thing that you did. And it validates my view that music is just such an important companion. I've been known since childhood to express my long-held emotions on the piano. I remember getting mad and just walking down to the piano room and banging it out, or getting sad or writing music. It always felt like a friend that you could talk to. And especially once I got deeper into music and realized how other people experience it. And when I got older and started playing professionally, I drew from that experience. I looked at my friends and my colleagues and said, wow, you're using music to do this, or you're using music to tell this story, your story. And more, I've been using the piano and my music to tell my story. So it definitely has been a saving grace. I want to start by playing just an excerpt of a simple tune. And the song is called My One and Only Love, right? And the song goes like this. So on and so forth. But the song has this very simple melody that goes into it. Right? And my topic today is how we can use chords to kind of liven this up. Right? So if you play a harmonic instrument, you're probably familiar with what a chord is, but if not, here's what a major chord is. The chord that I just played is A flat major. Different from A flat minor, which is that kind of tense tang to it. But major, minor, right? So if you know what your chords are, the next thing is learning how to make them sound not as stock. I use the term stock here, like if you buy, a stock chocolate, it's just stock. You know what it tastes like. But if you want to personalize that, then you have to break out some devices, right? The first one I'm going to talk about is spread voicings. So let's define that. What is spread? What is voicing? Voicing is just a different way to play a chord. For example, I can play A flat major like this, but I can also play A flat major like this. And what I'm doing is I'm playing the same basic chord with a lot more information, right? So let's begin at the first step. We're going to spread our chords, which means we're going to take our A flat major, and that consists of A flat, C, and E flat. And the first step to spreading a voicing is taking your C in the middle and displacing it. We'll displace it to the next octave here. So, do you hear the difference? The first one feels a little close together. The second one feels a lot more open, a lot more air to it, right? So you can do this with every chord. A flat major, B flat minor, I took that D flat, displaced it, E flat, so that's a very easy step to making your chord sound. And I'm only playing those spread voicings in my left hand. So the next step after you've learned how to spread out your voicings is to add color to the voicings. And we can do this, we can achieve this by adding notes that are outside the triad or outside the chord, right? So let's take our A flat major chord that we know, right? Very simple, A flat, E flat, C, right? To this chord, I'm going to add B flat. So additional note. So let's compare. Normal chord, a chord with B flat added, right? And to me that sounds much more colorful, much more rich, right? Right? So that's an example of how to add some colors. I'm going to give you one more example of how to add a color. So you might have noticed when I played that, that last chord, I did a little movement in my left hand. And that is what I call a suspended chord. Let's talk about that. The chord in question is E flat, E flat, G, and B flat. A sus chord is when you take the middle note and raise it. So we're going to go from G to A flat. So this is an example of a sus chord, right? And the thing that I was doing was moving from sus to the normal chord. Which gives it a nice kind of landing motion. Which completes my phrase. So that's another thing you could do. You could make all your chords into susses. Experiment with, see how you feel about adding the sus in your chords. So this is the idea of learning harmony. How can we add colors? How can we make our chords richer and add lots of beauty to our song? So once you can add all this together, we take our chords, make them spread, we make them wider, and we add more colors. Let me just show you what an example of that might sound like. So this is me adding lots of colors, lots of movements, right? The next thing to do is to make your melodies richer. Now that we've worked on getting our chords a little richer, we can try and make our melody a little richer. So what do I mean by that? We take our melody that we've got, which is right, very simple melody. The first very easy thing you can do if you're a piano player or a guitar player, you can add what's called an octave. An octave is just playing the same note on the next octave or the next register. So if you're playing an E flat here, you're going to play an E flat here as well. And when you're a piano player, you can play them both together. You can do this on guitar or any harmonic instrument, really. Okay, so I wanted to address why do we learn harmony? Why do we work on harmony? Harmony, the act of playing chords in different ways, can change a song so much, and it could just breathe new life into it. I just want to take a simple song like Amazing Grace. We all know that song, right? Very simple song. When we know our harmony, when we learn how to play chords differently, now we're able to insert new colors, new chords into this to breathe new life. So here's a short example of what that might sound like. Much more advanced, much more colorful version, right? That process is called reharmonization, where you take a simple melody and you put different chords on it. It doesn't necessarily have to be something simple or complicated. It's just changing the mood of the song. That's very different from the that we already have, right? And when you do this, you're able to play with emotions. You're able to play with moods. You're able to play with styles. You're able to change the landscape of a song. And that's why I think we should all take some time to just put some time into studying harmony. How can we better our harmony? How can we better our knowledge of chords? How can we better our knowledge of intervals? You know, take some time to really study. Sit at the piano if you're not a piano player. It helps so much. In my view, we're all different. We've got different backgrounds. We've got different contexts in life. Even if you're not doing it professionally, I think if you love it so much, you should find the most proximate region in your life where you can be close to the music. Whether that's finding a good friend who plays music professionally, whether it's finding an avenue, so someone you can play with and actually make some money doing it, or and it doesn't work like the old days before when you had to have $1 million to make a record. You can make a record in your house with a few $100s, and I love this, and so I feel like whatever is most proximate to you in your life with your music, you should find a way to be as close as it as possible. Thanks for joining us at the Twin Cities Jazz Festival Masterclass. I'm Kavyesh, and it's been a pleasure talking to you. I hope to see you again.